Rural Heritage on RFD TV is brought to you by Rural Heritage Magazine, a bi-monthly magazine featuring articles about farming and logging with draft animal power, small-scale diversified family farming and homesteading, and other aspects of our rich rural heritage. Rural Heritage Magazine, borrowing from yesterday to do the work of today. For subscription information, please call 319-362-3027 or order online at www.ruralheritage.com. On this week's show, we visit the Grant-Kohrs Ranch National Historic Site in Deer Lodge, Montana. Norm Johnson, Range Tech and Resource Manager at the ranch, gives us a tour of the many exhibits at the ranch and talks about some of the field demonstrations that happen throughout the summer.
Norm Johnson, I'm the Range Tech Teamster here at Grant-Kohrs National Historic Site. Okay. Currently we have 6 heavy horses and 2 saddle horses on site. So we'd like to say we could put together 3 teams for working demonstrations for the public. Well, you know, the main emphasis is to show the history of the draft horse here at the ranch and or Montana, you know, the western part of the United States, and their involvement in developing this part of the region. You know, the ranch was designated by Congress to show the working cowboy, commemorate the working cowboy and the open range of the 19th century. So late 1880s, early 1900s, anything that a horse would be used for at that time is still done here at the ranch, used for that purpose. Whether it's herding, roping cows for doctoring and branding, or draft horses, obviously we put up a lot of loose hay and feed that hay to our livestock with the drafts. Yeah, so you know we're open every day except for Christmas and Thanksgiving. So 8 to 5, you can find something to do here. But we also have 3-4 other working living history days throughout the summer. You know, putting up hay. You name it, you know, come anytime when you can generally see something being done with a draft horse. And possibly like on Monday afternoons is a wagon ride around the ranch to show the history of the ranch and the facilities. They're pretty remarkable for the time and period. The oldest barns here on the ranch, dating the 1880s. This is our draft horse barn. Where we harness and you know, feed and everything and groom our heavy horses here at the ranch of the 6 head. So very, very common of the era. Back in the 1900s there, our cattle herd, Hereford Shorthorn mix. Yeah, drafts coming in. Yeah.
What do you have upstairs?
Well, it's a hay loft. Okay. Yeah, that would be used for square bales. We've kind of cleaned it out since. Yeah, big door on this other end where they load it out all the time, a platform. The far side is just a saddle, our saddle horses, and then this is known as the ox barn down at this end. There were still, you know, some oxen that came through, and that was where they'd house the oxen in this barn. So it's all rigged up for beef oxen. Yeah, a little breezy. A little bit breezy. But let's start you up at the top end of Bunkhouse Row and show you the timeline there. Kind of the and then we can head down to some of the barns and show you different equipment that was here at the ranch. Again, that would be in collections, and then some of the stuff that a lot of the community members, whether it's local or statewide, have refurbished and will donate to the ranch, and thus then our department gets to use those in operations. And we'll go down and look at some of those pieces. Johnny Grant was a fur trader that originally came to this area and areas south of here, all the way to Blackfoot, Idaho, or central and southern Idaho, where he worked the Oregon Trail. And at that time, him and Kohrs kind of developed a relationship for marketing beef. We had not only people heading west on the Oregon Trail, but the gold boom, not only in California but even up here north. Feeding miners was a big thing. So not only the miners mined the gold, but the ranchers mined the miners, had to produce beef for them. And whether it was the oxen or the beef, they would pick up two road-weary, worn-out cattle and give them one, and bring them up north here and put them on lush meadows and everything throughout the summer, and sell them back to settlers or travelers going west yet further as kind of a layover. That's kind of how they built their empire. Was through that trade business, and obviously Grant through more trading of furs and pelts, and then Kohrs more the meat industry and cattle. But then that just continued to blossom and bloom, and at one time, we're talking 20 million acres of public ground that the Kohrs family had control of, not only in western Montana but mainly central Montana, for their herds of open range cattle that they'd mainly market back in Chicago. After 2 years of developing those fat type grass fed cattle at that point, and then later. After, obviously we know the hard winters of 76, 77, and in the late 1800s, kind of, started to bring on the hay. If we're going to survive in this country, we might have to feed our critters a little more than relying on what's, available.
For grazing.
Yep, on the stump, exactly. So that kind of shrunk things a little bit. Kohrs, kind of could see the writing on the wall, and started to do more farming, general ranching, and improving his cattle through purebred critters. And his grandson kind of took on where he left off at. This is Con Warren. And at one point, Con Warren had one of the largest Belgian breeding set of mares west of the Mississippi.
You mean physical height?
No, numbers.
Oh, okay.
If not the largest, I think one of the largest. And then later in the 40s, he did sell them, I believe, to the Rockefeller family back out east. But at that one point, I've had like 45 to 50 mares here on the ranch. For breeding purposes. Obviously they're right up here in the upper buggy sheds, the whole timeline of the ranch and history of the family. Yeah, and just open range cattle, right? Whole timeline there, and you'll see that through bunkhouse row.
Okay.
Yep,
great.
and then we can open up the buggy sheds as far as the, some of the equipment is for us to use on our side, operations,
Right.
and some of it is historic. So it's in collection, so we don't get to pull it out, and like the whole T-barn, everything in it is old time.
Great.
Collection.
But this just gives you a timeline of cattle and the family, these are pictures here. This is Johnny Grant, Conrad Kohrs, what the name, the ranch is named after. Kohrs half brother Bielenberg, which is very crucial or instrumental in the livestock side of his enterprises. Picture of Conrad Kohrs and Con Warren here as a young boy. Remember I told you about the breeding herd of Belgians in the lower yard? That was just you just panoramed through there. You can see these Belgian mares with foals and colts on their sides there. The use of the Hereford cattle, Warren Hereford Ranch as it was moved into in later years. And just a good shot of the overall facilities and the Pintler Range in the back foreground.
It's great.
Yeah. You know, it kind of shows you the way in the life of the cowboy back in the day.
Very cool.
Yep, the accommodations they had for them.
That's pretty nice.
Yeah, yeah. This is if you were living here at the home ranch. Yeah,
They took care of you.
Yeah, they took care of you. You were king. You know you got 3 squares a day,
Nice.
and some pretty good things stock to work with.
Yeah.
This portion of the buggy shed, that was where that timeline was at the other half of it. When the railroad came through, I think the last spike was put in Gold Creek in the 1906. Well, at this end of things, they needed to remove half of the buggy shed because the railroad came through on that top end. So then they hauled it down to the lower yard. And currently, this is a lot of the wagons that people have restored here locally and that we have put into use for ranch purposes. So as I take a look, see if we can get enough light in there for you, Joe. We probably should shut up when we're done. There you go. So a number of these pieces were done by Nick Schwager and I think Rod Henderson.
Rod Henderson.
Henderson, yeah. So this is a water wagon that they put together, and we plan on using it this year during the Draft Horse Expo, Friday for our Living History event. We'll go ahead and water down the roadways above the tracks here by the house, and then use that road grader to do some road prep. Other times we've done the dump wagon. This is a Western wheel wagon that'll haul about 1.25 yards of material. We still use it for ranch work, maintenance on roads, ditch work if we have some extra fill that needs to be transported around. Put a set of 4-up of heavy horses on it. Yeah.
Big wheels.
Yeah. This barn is known as Leeds Lion Barn. This is one of the Shire studs that the Kohrs family own. This barn's named after that stud, named Leeds Lion, which was a very high dollar horse that he used to breed some of these lower quality mares. I don't know if we can. It's kind of devoted to the draft horse exhibit now. The Leeds Lion barn. Yeah. I don't know if I could even. Just. Yeah. Suffolk some. So these pieces all belong to either the Kohrs or Warren family, and not part of daily ranch activities, but old oxen cart,
Yeah.
yeah, neck yokes. And
So that you call that the foaling area? That's not a shoeing stock. Is that a cattle?
No, that's the horse.
yeah.
That's the horse stocks.
Okay, all right. I just didn't understand the sign.
Yeah.
Threw me off.
Right. It's just
I got you.
used to be the
yeah,
space because right up here was Warren's vet house, vet room.
Yep.
So he's yep.
That's a nice big cart,
Yeah, it is. Yeah,
big wheels.
ration cart, yeah.
Is this the grader you use? You have another one?
No, this is the collection, so we don't
Yeah.
use this. But obviously they were in collection. We knew that they'd been used here at the ranch, so we actually went out and found one that a local rancher had and refurbished it and got it operable for our own use.
It's a nice collection. It's a diversity.
Yeah.
Got lots of examples of stuff.
Yeah.
We've actually finally started putting some of the wagons and carriages and stuff up inside
you
the
can't.
Virginia City. That's Joelle and
This, as you read through here a little bit, this was used as an ambulance during the war or Battle of the Big Hole in 1877. There were actually soldiers hauled in this buggy and brought. The nearest hospital was in Deer Lodge, which is about 80 miles away. So that from that battle in this wagon.
Wow.
We don't deal with the moisture, so our hay can,
Yeah.
stay outside for extended periods of times. I mean, we have hay that's 2 to 3 years old, maybe a little crusty on the top, but generally high quality all the way through, and it's been out in the elements. Yeah, and that was this valley, as you can kind of even see today, was noted for less moisture. I mean, we'll get skiffs of snow, but generally it's high mountain snow that comes here, and that's what we rely on for precipitation for rivers and creeks and stuff to irrigate with. But then this is the blacksmith shop over here.
Okay.
Actually, it's a little out of air in terms of it was, I think, built in the mid 40s.
Okay.
Wasn't in heavy use when they had a lot of the horses in terms of shoeing, but still was used, to work on this new era equipment. Had a central belt drive, for grinders and different things. So pretty modern for that time period. Today it's obviously used more back dating, to the early 1900s.
It's a great manual.
Yeah.
It's a beauty. I've never seen one like that.
Uh-huh.
And then it's a really nice sickle sharper than.
Right. Yep. Kind of tells the story of industrialization, right? From
Yeah.
horsepower to
Right.
steam,
Yep.
to steam power. Yeah.
So for the overshot, do you guys use buck rakes to bring the hay up?
Yes. Yeah. We use the beaver slide most often. Generally, the overshot is just used for a single demonstration day. Not only do we have it, but you notice there's a Jenkins swinging stacker right out there across the top of that red barn. Do you see that tripod?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Way out there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Looks
Yeah.
like a teepee. That's a Jenkins swing stacker.
Swinging Higgs.
Look that up.
Yeah, it's a dandy.
That was
It's-
historical, so we can't use it.
Yep,
And
it's-
we haven't found.
It's in collections too, but you've got a basket that you can load with a buck rake, and then there's a set of trips and cables on it, and it just lifts and then stair steps over on your height,
Okay.
and it'll automatically jump when it hits that trip on your 3 different pins on your height level. So it places everything 90 degrees to where you pick it, and then you just, it's lightweight, just like an overshot where you just skid that thing up a little, up a little, up a little.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's.
very cool.
Yep, yep. We were exchanging pictures on that. But that kind of gives you the open range story.
And it's whitewashed, so it.
Let's just go here and you'll see what we kind of do. This north south meadow, this is what we call the stewards, where we do all of our horse haying. And just to the back side of where that saddle horse is standing is where we put up the loose hay.
Okay.
So the people come right down here. Don't have to walk too far out in the hay meadow to see us in action.
See it from the road.
Yeah, yeah. Just you can see the beaver slide in action.
Yeah.
Yeah, you'll see baskets of hay fling right up over. So there.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. Yeah. So that's the beast.
This program is available for purchase. To order your copy, please call 319-362-3027 or visit www.ruralheritage.com. Rural Heritage is a bi-monthly magazine dedicated to draft animal farming and logging, as well as other aspects of our rich rural heritage. It is published by Mishka Press, which also offers a complete line of back-to-the-land books, DVDs, and calendars. Call or write for a catalog or subscription information, or visit our website at www.ruralheritage.com.